Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. We don't need more bags. We need more days. We need more occasions, more emotions to use all of the things that we have. This is going to be one of the topics of my discussions today when we go deeper into learning from experience. The fashion influencers like Lydia Millen, like a few others, who share that they're going to be selling their handbags on the internet. And my input here as a personal shopper for the past 12 years, as somebody who knows luxury, works with it every single day, and as a minimalist in mindset myself, I want to explore some of these ideas with you. And why I make these videos, I believe we could learn from experiences from others as well. It's not always the case. Sometimes you need to do your own mistakes, but I always talk about this in my videos. So I don't follow or discuss people just because, I want to make funny videos, but a lot of people do that as well. So it's up to you. We can vote right now if you want to get things more spicy or less spicy. I loved some of the input I had from you, and always feel free to drop into my DMs and we can chat about that as well. As a personal shopper, I do work a lot with clients, but it's mostly long distance, and I don't really chat with them because I live here in Abu Dhabi. It's kind of far away. Anyhow, so it is a lot of fun for me to watch this type of videos because you can browse and you can see how persons developed over the years. And I haven't been somebody who followed this or that blogger closely. What I usually do, if I wanted to follow somebody, I would go to Instagram, and I already have a couple of people who I like for years. Some of them were like really early adopters on the internet, and I go and I follow for style and for like handbags, and choose people who have very similar features to me, have very similar vibe, and still with them they go slightly not to my true like needs or values. But in this instance, I can see person like how many times they've been wearing this type of item, how many times they were styling this item. And when I did that, it actually helped me a lot in the very beginning when I was just forming my first handbag collection. I wanted to get a Goyard tote or another type of tote. I was never into Louis Vuitton. Not maybe like when I was 13, maybe I was, but in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, there were so many fake bags for Louis Vuitton, so like nobody really wanted them into their 20s, oppositely to like maybe some people in England who would like, everybody will have like a monogram handbag by Louis Vuitton because it's entry luxury. My first designer tote like that was Goyard in black, and I loved having it. It worked for me until I became a mom of 2 kids. Then it became a bit too small for me, and I realized it's too black for where I live. I would probably have replaced it with like some color, but then I replaced it with something else. And also with shoes as well, I would look at some of those bloggers and see like if I see a certain item in many styles, in many of their content on a Pinterest, I'm like, okay, this is kind of gonna work for me. So this is, I think, much better way to learn about you, about your style, and take inspiration. But if you just simply follow people who babble on internet about like all the things, and you actually don't see them what they wear when they go out. So with my content, I try to post everything that I actually wear, because it varies so much. Like, so when you do styling for your videos, because I also do those style videos, you put the outfit together. Yeah, it's very beautiful. It's also kind of a good job to do it. But in real life, I only wear those type of outfits when I have like specific photo shoots or like content creations, and not many people out there do the same jobs. So I think the most value comes when people share their real true outfits that they actually wear. Of course you want to make pretty, because if the outfit is not pretty, people are not gonna not gonna follow you. But this is what I go by. So if you're interested in really wearable, practical fashion that's also like looks nice with a bit of luxury, you can check out my Instagram. If you're interested in doing a lifestyle shift and also curate a really small but special designer goods collection from your very full wardrobe, I work one-on-one with clients online, and I can help you curate a beautiful, functional wardrobe that will work for your lifestyle needs. Drop me a message in Instagram DM to find out more. I can also give you a free advice on shopping, especially luxury items. If you want to add something to your wardrobe, send me a couple of your outfits and what you're looking for, and I can draft you some recommendations. Other lessons that we can learn from this situation. Yeah, please let me know in the comments. Do you like more spicy content or less spicy content? I'll try to adjust to your preference levels. So one of the first lessons that I wanted to say, why this thing happened to this particular situation, to this particular influencer, Lydia Millen. I believe she works now with a stylist, and she decided to clear out like her brain a bit more. So it's a lot of work to keep the animals. I know people who do that in the countryside. They don't have a life. They don't have really other things to do, other hobbies. It's a full-time job. I believe that she decided to outsource the styling and clothes process to somebody who would work with her. And we've seen this lady in her last video. I didn't watch like with all the details. I just like browsed quickly. I don't know if she said that, but I believe that's what's gonna happen. So the stylist will work directly with brands who will be doing the collaborations for her. So essentially it's like an online shop. This is what stylists do. This is how I also did it, how I do it, like when I do my content. What I don't like about that process is kind of like increasing your life. You don't use these things in your real life. They're pretty things that you are kind of showing and selling. So this is kind of a dark side of this influencing. Sometimes when you have a special event, yeah, you will wear one or two of the outfits. And for the styling reasons, you wear things that make other things look better. So I guess with the stylist, she probably said, you know, like we don't have any brand deals with this company, with Hermes, with Chanel. There's no point of doing that. I will style your outfits in such a good way that even like we were gonna be doing more partnership with other local British brands. And I also noticed the shift that she was going to some meetings in these, like with the royal people. She was meeting the king and some other people from the foundation. I'm sorry, I did not do into those details, but there was something with some lady who owns the castle that was in this like big movie. I'm sorry, I didn't watch that movie, so I don't know that much. But I believe for like political and for value reasons, she needs to show more British stuff, which is great. But still, it is bad that it seems like she's been inconsistent with us and like untrue to us. As she was saying, oh, this is Hermes, especially the mini Kellys, the little pochette bag that were quite new. Like, there's no reason why she would have to sell it if she just got it recently. And I think she didn't sell those 3 items at least. I think she just says, she says that she did sell them to, you know, not make her house a target, possibly. But that would be silly because if you sell a pre-loved mini Kelly, you're gonna potentially lose, you know, value. I don't know. And these were good for her. So with me, like if I was her close follower, I would be upset that she's like so inconsistent with that. I think if she would do it more gradually, like she would say, okay, these big Birkin bags don't work for me. And the market at the moment is this way, that unfortunately the big sizes of Hermes bags don't resell for big value, because luxury shoppers are usually just interested in the small ones. So to summarize the previous video, she managed to sell the Cali 32, which is like a miracle, because it's I don't think anybody wants that bag, and the other Birkin 35, and they try to sell other biggest sizes. There's no market for them at the moment, because people who are potentially would be interested in those items, they have to worry about other things at the moment, as economy, as maybe buy more stocks, less of that. For the other bags, I don't think anything bad is going to happen to Hermes, honestly, because it's proven as a really good investment. So it would not be clever to let them go. So for this reason, I think it's bad for her that she was quite so inconsistent. She would probably be better off just like keeping them for the summer and then say, okay, so now I have I'm adding these 3 British brands, and I have these a few mini Kellys, and then she would play with them and see which ones are actually working for her. So I think that process, if she would lead us through the whole process of what works and what doesn't work for her, it would be having more sense. But in this way, I just sell all of them, it's kind of a bad rap for her. And then she other day I decided to sell all of my horses and animals, I'm not into them anymore. You understand what I say, right? The other thing is that she maybe had them for the wrong reasons, and many people do that. That's like a fantasy self. So she didn't get some of those items because she was really into that leather, into that brand. She was hunting for something that will show her to the outer world, oh, look, I'm successful, which is both yes, important maybe because that's her job, but we can see that she has the house, she has the lifestyle. It's still something intrinsic, and as even we can see her developing, she did through a long process of acquiring and reducing those things. So it's kind of okay if you learn from it, but it's really important to take your time and actually do the mental work to understand what's happening, why do you need it? Because if you don't do it, you're going to be in a circle again and again and again. So I didn't really follow what kind of clothes she was getting from those brands, what kind of other accessories. But what I remember as I was quickly doing my research, she only got the Chanel ballerina flats really, really recently, maybe last year or in December she unpacked them. I don't remember her having Chanel flats before. What I meant to say here, that such an item as a Chanel ballerina is quite an entry-level luxury item that usually people know that they want, and they get it in their 20s, late 20s, if they really into that style. It seems odd to me, such a shift, and somebody in her mid-30s starting with Chanel, but then suddenly stopping with Chanel. Really odd. She did have Hermes orange shoes, but these are entryway level shoes. So if you're more into bags, you probably need to get clothes, ponchos, hats by Hermes. And she didn't really own any Chanel clothes or blazers or jackets. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't remember any. Let me know if you know. So if you don't really into brand aesthetics, but you get only the accessory that you want people to believe that your affinity, to the certain category of people who wear this type of thing, it's not going to grow into you. So you're not buying it because you love it. You buy it for the very wrong reasons. I think that's the case in here. So also good food for thought for everybody, for you as a beginner or more experienced luxury shoppers, or any shoppers aspirational who would do in their research. Don't get things for the wrong reasons, Even if it's a gift, I wouldn't wear certain things if they were even free for me. Maybe I would like borrow them to test them out, but if you don't love it, like it's not gonna grow on you. I think it happened to me when I bought some Saint Laurent items. I was like really not into aesthetics, but I bought an item because one of my bloggers posted it, and then I kind of thought I like it, but it never worked for me. And as a second time, it was a stylist that I worked with, and she recommended, okay, get these because they're popular. You're gonna wear these shoes, they're hot, and you're gonna have more brand collaborations. This is exactly what she said. And I was like, yeah, I got the likes, but I never liked those shoes. I'm so happy I let them go really quickly. So wrong reasons, another problem. If you aren't into it, it's not going to grow in you. Another reason is like if you really overstretch yourself with having so many things that also like are valuable things, you know. If these were just, you know, other pair of shoes, another like clutch, like low brand clutch under like 1,000, under 500, it wouldn't be so wearisome for your brain. So the idea that I want to present is, if it's too expensive for you, if you think about it all the time, if it worries you, if you worried about the security, if you're worried about, you know, that you have so much that you bought it for the wrong reasons as well, it's too expensive for you, for your brain, because you have to worry about it so much. It could be not just like an expensive thing, it could be something that you bought impulsively for the wrong reasons. It could be something that is for the fantasy self, all of those reasons. So if you see it and you don't love it and you don't think about beautiful experiences you had with it, but instead wrong reasons, that it is too expensive for you. But on the opposite side, to learn about your preferences, about your tastes, you have to go through such experiences. Everybody says that if you're shopping for luxury watches, you have to start somewhere and then, you know, you progress with your taste. You understand your taste so much better. Same with like tastes in food, in travel, even like buying things for your house, for your kitchen. When you do it for the first time, you kind of get the wrong things, and then you don't realize until much later that you don't need those things. So it's a constant process of weeding out things that you don't use, and everything. All this comes from experience. But I believe in this case, it was slightly overdone with one category, like handbags. There's so many other areas to invest in, like designer watches, jewelry, like some really high-end pieces, like blazers, jackets, hats, you know, equestrian stuff. There's so many things that are more like valuable, but now she's doing that. She's doing the horses, and then as we get older, you know, all kind of cosmetic procedures that are also costly and actually more important than another handbag. So that's probably that. So my other recommendations is, always think about your own needs, learn from your experiences. Take the time to learn about what types of leathers you like. There are various types of leathers, like there are more smooth ones, more grainy ones, more shiny ones, and you cannot like all of them. Learn about the shapes that you like. Learn about the shapes of the bags, like they could be structured, they could be soft. Learn about like how you like to wear your things. You like to wear them here, or you want to wear them across body, how they sit in next to your hips. I remember when I had a Kelly bag, I had a really sturdy box leather Kelly. I didn't like even like sitting with it when I didn't actually travel. I don't remember traveling with it. Maybe once to London I did travel when I brought it to be sold. But I so much prefer softer leathers like Togo. But for me, the way I do it now, I live in a quite safe area. So my luxury bags, they rarely actually leave the house with me. I do my content here, and I have things that don't leave the safe space, the Abu Dhabi. If I go to Ukraine, I rarely bring anything with me, honestly. I only wear this Cartier Love bracelet. It's not possible to take it off me unless, I'm like completely. I have a bad rap when I traveled because there's no airplane connection to Ukraine. We have to do the trains. It's fairly safe these days because people don't worry about Bulgars. People worry about other stuff, but it's just not the vibe, The vibe is not right for having too much luxury things in Ukraine. There's definitely other things that are more important. But I prefer really small bags that fold flat in my suitcase. So for the summer, I usually have like one small tote that goes flat into my carry-on, and one more or two more smaller bags. I like the row bag because it's really small and it doesn't scream brand. I love the quiet luxury trend, but I love shoes, so I like nice designer shoes, especially ones that are really comfortable, very versatile, also fold small, fold flat. And this is what makes me wealthy, makes me rich. I can put my small selection of my things into my suitcase and I could be off and I'm gonna have a good time. I don't have to worry about stuff. I don't have to worry that extra things don't do the job in the wardrobe, if you know what I mean. So some food for thought for you, and have a happy Easter or a happy holidays if you're watching it later. It's such a good time to reflect on your past experiences, because if we don't reflect, if we don't take action on make decisions about how we're gonna lead our life, how we're gonna be surrounded with the material things, it will be heavy for us, it will be expensive, it will make us miserable. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. If you're interested in doing a lifestyle shift and also curate a really small but special designer goods collection from your very full wardrobe, I work one-on-one with clients online, and I can help you curate a beautiful, functional wardrobe that will work for your lifestyle needs. Drop me a message in Instagram DM to find out more. I can also give you a free advice on shopping, especially luxury items. If you want to add something to your wardrobe, send me a couple of your outfits and what you're looking for, and I can draft you some recommendations.